Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am you know who. We'll get started, but first, coffee. In a coffee cup that says, "With God, all things are possible." Matthew 19:26. So I will say amen to that. Nice.
My God, that is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
Real nice. This is a Peruvian bean, whole bean coffee made in a French press today. Got up at 3:10 a.m., couldn't sleep. And of course, I'm not one to lay there and wish and hope that I'm going to fall asleep. My thing is get the heck up and start work. So here I am. It is now 4 a.m. And this is my second cup of coffee today. So buttered coffee. Butter. Kerrygold buttered coffee. The weight will fly off of you. Guarantee it. Oh, so this is interesting. The podcast that knocked Joe Rogan out of the #1 spot on Spotify is Kylie Kelsey. Is that the name? My first thought was, no way. What are your thoughts? Yesterday, she knocked Joe Rogan out of the #1 slot, #1 podcast on Spotify. And I watched it and I'm like, how in the world is this even on the radar? Seriously, I'm like, this is, I don't know. You would think for something to knock Rogan off #1, you would think it would be something just really revolutionary. It's a chick with nothing to say. Seriously. Crazy.
Wake the fuck up.
I love this meme. Of course, I'm always bringing up the memes. Kermit the Frog, when you're at a job interview and they pull up your Facebook, and on it shows a guy, like the HR guy, doing the job interview with Kermit sitting in front of him. And the guy pulls up Kermit's Facebook page and it says, "Fuck the government." I love that. So they're checking your social media now. I would hire someone who says that. Are you kidding me? It hits you how much you spend when you're going out, when you pull out that wad and pay cash versus just throwing down a credit card or a debit card. Decrease your going out and invest what you would have spent in 1 year. If you invest that, you could double your money. Seeing cash leave your body, your person, creates an impact. It makes you feel foolish for wasting money. So it's so easy just to throw a card down and pay for something because you're not actually handling cash. It's almost like this delayed pain, right? It's easier to throw a card down so the server gets it or the bartender gets it than it is to pull out cash and peel off money. Another great use of going out money, like the money that you have to go out with, is to take someone out for a nice dinner and talk business with somebody who's doing better than you. Take someone to a steakhouse. Pick their brain for a couple hours. It'd be the best $300 you ever spent. I guarantee it. Like a consulting session. That's a good use of your money. I remember 1 year when I decided to not go out. Now, I'm not a big going out kind of guy anymore. I used to go to bars twice a week. I dialed it in to twice a week. And for 1 year, I decided to not go. And I think, what year was that? It might have been 2017, 2015 or 2017, I forget. I forget if it was right before I started the Daybreak Show or right after, because I started in February of 2016. Anyways, I ended up saving. This is what I did. I would normally go out and there was a certain amount of money that I would spend. It was always dinner and a few beers and a shot or something like that, and tip, whatever. Instead of just not going out, I would take the money that I would have spent and I stuck it in a coffee can, like a big coffee can. Did that for 1 year. Anytime that I would have gone out, I put that money in the coffee can. At the end of the year, I had about $20,000. It was, I remember, like in December, November. Even after 11 months, I had 17 or 18,000. So I think by the end of the year, I had about $20,000 in that can. Just as an experiment. It should have been gathering interest or something. I did invest it. Think about the money that you just waste because it's so easy to whip out the card and pay for things electronically. I think when you handle cash, you are more aware of the value of money. With a card, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. You're delaying the pain of a credit card statement. With cash leaving your person, you feel it more. And like I said, that one year, I think I saved literally $20,000. Hey, you know what can really fuck up your day? Realizing that there's 168 hours in a week and how much time you really have to make shit happen and how much time you waste. Do you realize that there's 168 hours in a week? Let's say you sleep 8 hours a day. Multiply that times 7. Do the math. You still got a lot of time left over. And then let's say you work an 8-hour day. Give yourself a half-hour commute on each end. Do the math. You still got a lot of time left over. You waste so much time. There was a time in my life where I wasted a lot of time. Now, I don't waste any time, obviously. If you remember the interview that I did with my father a few years ago, I go, Dad, tell my audience. Now, at that time, he was maybe 86, 87. And I said, Dad, give my audience some words of wisdom. What would you tell my audience? And he said, and this is while he was cutting my hair, he said, it's later than you think. Wow. Seriously. It might have been one of the most profound things I've ever heard in my life. It's later than you think. You don't have as much time as you think. I look in the mirror now and I go, my God, who's that old guy in the mirror? Seriously. It seems like it wasn't that long ago that I had black hair and a black beard. Now I got white hair and a white beard. It happens, man. Time goes by fast, and faster as you get older. This is pretty interesting. Americans think if they don't see it, that it's not happening. The fate of Syrian Christians in Syria is disturbing. I try not to let what's happening in other countries bother me. Like it's none of my business. I draw the line when it comes to Christian people because I'm a Christian person. I draw the line. That's my thing. I don't like it when any people are getting slaughtered. I don't like genocide of anyone, period. Whether it be in Syria or Palestine or anywhere. I don't like it when people are being slaughtered. I don't like it when the average citizenry is used as a bargaining chip and entire villages are wiped out for stupid-ass reasons. Blows my mind. There is genocide going on. Don't fucking argue with me about that. Palestinians are being fucking slaughtered. Let's get fucking real. It is a genocide. It is a Holocaust over there. That's what's happening. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Wake the fuck up.
If you don't feel it, like what? That's nothing to you. It does bother me. It does bother me a little bit. So I've thought to myself, well, maybe I shouldn't be so worried about it. Maybe I should just disconnect a little bit. I'm not there. I'm not at that disconnecting stage. No. Consider donating to Luciano's Light. They help offset funeral costs for families that had a child that died and they can't afford the funeral. This is a beautiful cause that I believe in, and I'll put a link for it down below. I don't care if you give $10, $100, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. It doesn't matter. Give something to Luciano's Light. And that is, right now, that's a charity that some friends of mine are promoting. And I just think it's such a worthy initiative. It really is. and it's making a positive impact in the lives of those that are less fortunate. So I'll leave a link down below. And if you are in the Philly area next week, I believe it's Thursday, December 19th, there was an event, and you can check that out. But if you want to just donate, go to the link down below, and you'll see. Make an impact. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So I'm asking for your opinion on the perfect business card. All right, I'm going to give the elements of what I think is the perfect business card. Number one, thick cardstock. To me, a flimsy business card is just flimsy. It reflects on the person and the business. Thick cardstock, something that's firm, feels good in the hand, is a positive thing. It's more memorable. I believe if you are a sole proprietor and you are the face of your business, I do believe that you should have a full color pic of yourself, because it makes you more memorable, because it is up to you. It is your problem if people don't know who you are and what you do. It is your responsibility to let people know who you are and what you do. It's not their problem, it's your problem. This is one of the ways to solve it. Easy contact information, whether it be phone or email or a website or something like that. Easy contact information, whether it be a phone number or an email or a website. And then limited, readable, larger text. Your business card is not a brochure. It's a way to contact you. Keep it simple. Silly. Well, she gives great head. That's the good news. She gives great head. That's also the bad news. Because if you think about it, how did she get that good? If you don't have a bird feeder, consider putting one up, even if it's just hanging on a wrought iron shepherd's crook, like those not cast iron, the wrought iron, the iron hook. You kind of jam it in the ground, there's a little hook, and you hang the bird feeder on it. Don't cheap out on the feeder, because you'll go through a lot of them. They can be made very cheap. Think about what's attractive to a bird, not what's attractive to you. If you don't buy a well-made one, believe me, you will go through one a year. The colors and sounds and types of birds are just incredible entertainment, even on the most blah of winter days. Something different every day. And guess what? You'll start giving those birds names. Where can you get this stuff? You can get them at Agway, Tractor Supply Company. They seem to have some of the best choices. Although hardware stores and home stores, the big box home stores, also have them as well. However, bird stuff makes great Christmas gifts. You get somebody a feeder, a shepherd's crook, a 40-pound bag of bird seed, and a small size metal trash can to keep the seed in. That way other animals do not break into it. And if you put your if you keep your bird seed outside, do not put it in a plastic bin or container, because animals will just chew right through it. It has to be a metal trash can that can be secured, or keep it in a garage or a shed or something like that. But are you looking for the perfect Christmas gift? For not much more than $100, you can get somebody fully situated with a bird watching hobby that they will love and always remember you by. And it's a great gift. It's creative. So if you're wondering, you're still looking for Christmas gifts, bird stuff is great. And also too, if you get a book on bird watching, which is kind of cool. So people see certain color birds with certain patterns and things like that, they can identify them. That's kind of a fun thing. Donald Trump, this is not the 2016 Trump that many of us loved. The Trump that we see now is the bought, bribed, and blackmailed one. He's owned, and it's very obvious with his choices of his cabinet. I'm not sure anyone can be convinced of this. You either see it or you don't. Memes are just so funny. I love this meme with these girls with these like injected lips, the big fat lips. Like, it's just gone overboard with the cosmetic surgery and the procedures and stuff like that. I think it's just gone overboard, and women are now parodies of themselves. Shows two women with huge lips, and the caption says, "I'm not injecting no vaccine in my body that's not natural." Two duck-lipped women. Here's a joke for you. What's the difference between a pickpocket and an OnlyFans customer? The answer? One snatches watches. If I have to explain that, then I'll just leave it at that. Are you expecting something different from this new Trump administration? Seriously. All I have to say is this: same as it ever was. Another great meme: for our 5-year anniversary, we took a reenactment photo. Shows a man standing with his wife-to-be in one side of the picture. The other frame is a man standing with a garden hoe. Just a quick reminder. Oh, by the way, let's have a moment of silence for every man who tried to turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay, bow your head with me, please. There we go. And remember that 13 seconds of pleasure can ruin a man's life, not just the next 18 years. People talk about, like, yeah, if you get her pregnant, man, you're going to be on the hook for the next 18 years. Let me tell you, you're on the hook for the rest of your life. You never stop parenting. Never. And you never stop paying. I don't care what anyone says. This whole Luigi Mangione thing, if you can't see that this is a psyop of some type, then again, it's another thing I can't explain to you. It blows my mind that people can't see it. But when you have the type of mind where you can see the bullshit in the government, in society, in the news, because everything is a psyop now. Everything. There's no such thing as news. Remember, news today is different than the news when you were growing up. News today is meant to influence you, not inform you. Keep that in mind every time you watch the news. What the fuck is the news? Seriously. Oh, the news is on at 6. What the fuck is the news? Seriously. World News Tonight. Like, what? World propaganda tonight. That's what it is. And then you have the 24-hour news stations. You have, fake Fox News. You have CNN, the biggest waste of time. MSNBC. You have, what's the other one? OANN? What the hell is that called? I forget what that stands for. The so-called conservative news stations. There's nothing conservative about them. Come on, give me a friggin' break. It's the same bullshit, different players. Let's get real. If you are watching the news, and that includes any of your favorite talk show people, you are being psyoped. No one's teaching you how to think. They are doing the thinking for you, and 9 times out of 10, it's wrong. Everyone at the top is selected, Trump included, because they got to get the nod from the real boss. Who is the real boss? Who is Trump's boss? I like Trump because he's his own man. Really? Really? Look at his cabinet. You tell me who's the real president. Who's the real boss? Life is about taking risks. It was risky from the minute you were born. If you think taking risks is too scary, wait till life gives you the bill for not taking risks. That's Jim Rohn. Playing it safe is never safe. Anyone see the video of Elon Musk and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni? Talk about a flirty video. Like, he's all giddy, the autist that he is, and she is smitten by him. Look up that video and look at the way that she looks at him. You'll see what I mean. I thought this meme was pretty funny. It shows that guy, Luigi Mangione, on a Vespa. The caption is, "You've heard of Elf on the Shelf? Now there's," and you got to fill in the blank, "Shooter on a scooter." Someone said, "Too soon?" I love it when a tweet or a post says, "Too soon?" Gentlemen, remember that one-itis kills. Never forget this, Christian or not. I see so many Christian guys just saying, God finally provided this woman for me. I just bite my tongue, otherwise I get accused of being negative, especially the Christ-pilled guys. Hey, listen, I'm a Christian guy. I suck at being Christian, but I'm a Christian guy. And again, I see the bullshit from a mile away. And one of the biggest areas that men fall into is the whole female trap. I found my soulmate. God brought me this woman. Really? So when she decides that she doesn't want to get married, did God decide that you shouldn't be married? You know, I've said this for years. You got the Christ-pilled guys that say, well, you know, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. And my reply is, what makes you think God put it together? That's why I say date long, marry slow, and divorce fast. And I get accused of being pro-divorce. I am pro-divorce. If you've already decided to do it fast. Because most of the trauma that men go through is from the chaos and bullshit of the divorce process. Do it fast. Like, if she wants a divorce, this whole concept, I'm fighting for my marriage. Dude, you're fighting for a used, beat-up old taco. I'm sorry. That roast beef sandwich is already being eaten by somebody else. Stop it. Do you really want that now? She didn't leave you to go to a convent. Here's a beautiful family, and it's a shame what happened to them, and it's a shame that the people who did it are still doing it today, but you can't talk about it. I saw this video of a boat that has a scoop on the front of it, like its bucket, you know, looks like a front end loader on a small boat, and there's a screen at the bottom of the bucket, and it scoops up algae and growth that's floating on the top of a lake. It's aquatic vegetation removal, and I think the boat is called a we-do, like a skidoo, a we-do. Very interesting. Clean and healthy retention pond maintenance. Help your HOA take control. There's a good business idea, man. I love this meme. You remind me of my little toe. She says, why? Because I'm small and cute? He says, no, because I'm going to bang you on my coffee table later. God. Western nations have created an environment, this is America included, where our women have become hookers, attention whores, and unmarriageable. Our young women should be protected, not exploited. Countries, we turn our young ladies into strippers and pole dancers and twerkers and all that nonsense. And the Western culture promotes women as sexual playthings. And then women just go for it. Okay, so you got her to lose weight. Now she's a bombshell. That's great. She's one layoff or bad phone call or one depressive episode away from blowing up again. So if you like plus-sized women, go for it, bro. No judgment. Just don't get into it in order to change her. 9 times out of 10, her medicine cabinet is going to tell you everything you need to know about her without spending your precious time and money. You can get money back, but you can't get time back. One guy says, just meet her mom. That'll tell you everything you need to know about her. Wait a minute. A patient with flu-like symptoms is isolated at a Cleveland hospital after an Africa trip. It killed, already, this flu-like thing, killed 143 people in Congo. Reuters reports those infected experience flu-like symptoms, including high fever and severe headaches. The disease seems to affect women and children over 15. What? So is this another Ooga Booga mystery disease that needs us to roll up our sleeves again? Come on, man. You know they're fucking playing with us. You know that. Stop it. Stop it. This is why you have to be independent. People don't usually randomly visit churches, and I found that there's tiers just below the polite persona with visitors in churches. They're not test driving cars to see which is the most comfortable and which has the most options. Once you understand why new people come to a church, and pastors should know this and many don't, you treat them a little bit different, especially if you are a liturgical church. This should also help guide the person who compiles the church bulletin. If a stranger walks into your church, what are they experiencing? Do they have to be part of the insider club? Do they have to feel lost? Especially if you're a liturgical church. Charles Glass, a older, successful bodybuilder, says a decline bench press is the ultimate chest workout. He says it's the only lift you need for your chest, the decline bench press. I never heard anyone say that before. The decline is the only chest exercise that you need. Have you heard that? This must be meme week. I love this stoner dude sitting on a floor in front of a couch, holding a possum. The caption says, "My two hobbies are smoking marijuana and rescuing stray cats." Isn't that the truth? In this meme or cartoon, there's two windows, a sign above each window. One sign says, "People who want to move on," and there's no one in that line. And then there's a bunch of people standing in line for the second window, which is labeled "People who want their ex back." Stop trying to get her back, bro. Your job now is to get you back. No text, no gift, no emails, no flowers. Buy yourself flowers. Do something for yourself. Stop trying to get her back. Can you imagine if she comes back to you, she's already got more miles on her. So you break people's legs and then offer them crutches. And then they call you a hero because you gave them a crutch. That had nothing to do with broken legs and crutches. It has to do with you and the government. Newsmax, that's still poison. So you think by switching from Fox News to Newsvax was a step up or a step in the right direction? Keep dreaming. Evangelical Christians are the single most cucked version of Christianity with their magical thinking about the Middle East. It blows my mind how many people receive the Middle East, I'll just say that, as their personal Lord and Savior. Blows my mind. Let's see if President Trump goes after the killers of Coach Red Pill, Gonzalo Lira, an American citizen. The motherfuckers need to pay for what they did to him. He's one of us. He was a brother that was killed by Ukraine. And we did nothing about it. What the fuck? Your government doesn't care about you. I'm old enough to see my female peers self-destruct after years of divorces, dicks, astrology, tarot, numerology, girl power, feminism, Paris, Machu Picchu, starting new chapters, abortions, cats, vodka, psych meds, all the no Trumpers. How about them women? No Trumpers. Trumpers swipe left. Believe me, I've been to plenty of pathetic funerals of women my age and older. Some have even had multiple ex-boyfriends and a couple ex-husbands show up at their funerals. Talk about cucked. This meme says, if you don't lower your standards, you'll end up alone, chugging wine and with a bunch of cats. She replies, oh, come on now, don't threaten me with a good time. Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day, fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way, kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. The song Time by Pink Floyd from the album Dark Side of the Moon. My friend Chris has a show called Philly Homicide, a true crime show. In its first season, he was a detective for 30 years. This is, I think they're up to, 5, 6 episodes, I think. True crime fans will love the show. Chris also wrote a book called, on cold cases called 3 Decades Cold. You want to check that out. But his show, Philly Homicide, is on the Oxygen Network. It's a very good show. Something I enjoy watching. And I'm not a TV watcher. Women go from "my children are my biggest accomplishment," which I always think is funny because children are not an accomplishment. They're a consequence of a sperm and egg getting together. That's not an accomplishment. But these women, their life revolves around their grandchildren now. They go from "my life revolves around my children" to when they're a little bit older, now their life revolves around their grandchildren. Translation is this: "My single parent daughter needs help with childcare and you will always be third place." Gentlemen, if you're older, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No matter how old the woman is, their bullshit is the same. The only thing that changes in dating as you get older is that their hair is gray. That is it. There is no difference. As the Christ-pilled idiots say, and I'm not mocking Christ when I say that, I'm mocking the idiots who say that, like, Jesus is the answer to everything. As they say, just marry a woman who doesn't believe in divorce. 12 of my 18 current coaching clients have feral Christian wives that didn't believe in divorce. This is from a comment. "Wow, I'm in the middle of a separation heading for divorce. 12 years married with 4 children. She got into all that mentioned above, decided she wanted to separate, and is now entertaining multiple men. I am gutted. I can't understand how any of this is happening." Up to 60% of all marriages are ending like this. And right now, you know who has the greatest divorce rate? Evangelical Christians. Isn't that amazing? Just marry a woman who doesn't believe in divorce, they say. Without a man's leadership, women naturally gravitate to the emotional, woo-woo, unsubstantiated bullshit such as witchcraft and astrology, numerology, manifesting, spiritual, not religious, the soulmate bullshit. Even if it's a third husband, I'm still looking for my soulmate. And Pentecostalish and evangelical concert churches. What do they all have in common? Zero accountability, because all of the above changes like the wind. Date long, marry slow, and if you're going to get divorced, do it fast. I have Zen fans out here. Are you into therapeutic use of nicotine? Not a bad thing. Believe me, it's not a bad thing. My brother, I gave my brother a little can of Zen, and one of his friends gets 20 milligram Zen. I use 1.5 milligram Zen. You can only order it online. 2 milligram at the most. 3 sends me into a sweat. 1.5, a cup of coffee and a Zen, and I can write for 3 hours. Phenomenal. But this guy gets 20 milligram Zen from Poland through mail order. 20 milligrams. That would knock me on my butt. What would a 20 milligram Zen do for you? Are you looking for an esoteric news anchor, a show host for your channel, streaming, radio, or TV? Create an additional profit center? Direct message me, and let's talk about it. Here's a great meme, and we'll end with this. In 1990, this is the sad truth, in 1990s, people were thin and TVs were fat. Remember big, heavy TVs? Now today, people are fat and the TVs are thin. And with that, finish your coffee and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.